Well, good morning, good people. Jason here with Green Country Agroforestry. It's what's today? July 31st. Nice and early in the morning, like 7:30, 8 o'clock, somewhere around there. And as you can see, it's nice and damp out here this morning. Yeah, we got, oh my goodness, somebody ate my elderberries. I need to harvest the ripe elderberries. I'll probably do that later on today. They are ripening up nicely. We're gonna make some delicious gummy frogs. That's right. Today I've got molds and some more gelatin coming in, and a little bit of food coloring too. I mean, you know, probably not the greatest thing adding food coloring, but you know, make some different colors. Our elderberries are ripening up nicely here. I see a couple that might still need to finish ripening, but we need to get these guys out as quick as possible because the birds and the bugs are going to consume them if I don't get them. And these are an excellent source of antioxidants, practically medicine. We're going to add some vitamin C to the gummies, but that's what I'm working on a lot this week. I don't know how much of it's going to wind up on camera because the kitchen is a mess. The kitchen is a mess. The finished product might be worth looking at though. We'll see. Ground is moist because it is raining off and on, or just did earlier, which is nice. Otherwise it'd be running sprinklers today. Oh my goodness, I brought these guys in so that they could get hit by the sprinkler. They were outside of the sprinkler and we're drying out. Little maple tree here. Some of those red buds may not make it. That one will, obviously. Over yonder. La la la. What is up with your premix hummingbird nectar? Sun will take the color right out of it. Okay. Oof. Ooh. A little bit of drizzle shouldn't hurt the camera. I've got it sealed up. It is technically supposed to be waterproof, and I don't have the charge port open, so it is properly waterproof right now. That's fennel in the foreground. Fennel in the foreground. This is a favorite plant for. Oh wow! You see a lot of it got eaten. We had some swallowtail caterpillars chowing down on this fellow. They seem to be all gone now. Either grazed enough for their liking, or got picked off by a predator, one of the two. And you eat enough of the foliage, you don't have any cover anymore. We'll still get fennel seeds out of this guy. Woof. Here we got a maple tree, red bud. Ooh, this guy got a little stressed. Yeah, he got a little stressed. He's still hanging in there though. Woohoo! This is a persimmon tree. Sorry, let me back up. Persimmon, that's right. I got a persimmon here. There's the canna lilies right there. Persimmon. That's a little red bud that may or may not stay. I haven't decided yet. I might keep it. I don't know. I'm thinking about replacing it with a hazel, actually. Of course, there's a big pecan here. Grape arbor. We're supposed to have grapes climbing over the top of that. I might just have to wait until after we're done growing for the year and try to get them started training next year. It was a little late whenever I got the beams put in across the top. Those are, of course, 2x4s. The first time around I did 2x2s and they didn't look right, so 2x4s it is. For the past couple of months, the inside of the grape arbor has been occupied by trees, and of course the sprinkler doesn't really get in there very well, so they were not they were not happy with me. So I've got them out of there, putting them along the walkways. We still have room to walk. The walkways are 3 foot wide, so we have room to walk around. Ooh, look, little Elaeagnus multiflora. Ooh, grasshopper's been chewing on him. So we still have room to have pots with trees along the walkway, places where they can still get shade and water. Now that we've got this walkway completed, let's step over this castor bean. Ooh, look, mushrooms. Oh. And I guess this morning I don't have to run the sprinkler system. Yay! Alright, the caterpillar's gone, but there's the butterfly. Look at that. So there we have a swallowtail butterfly. Pretty little butterfly right there, hanging out on a daylily stem, or a daylily flower stalk. Oh, righty. Let's have a look down here. What is this? There's a grasshopper down here. Get off of there. You know, grasshoppers don't seem to be bothering this plant too much. Wait. It looks like the swallowtail caterpillars are done. And we're starting to see the butterflies. Alright. So, last time I talked about patience and the virtue of patience. Today I'm going to talk about the virtue of humility and the reason why it's important. Whenever one consumes food, whether that food is real physical food you consume for nourishment, or whether that is perhaps an emotional experience or a piece of information, there's a process that one goes through to incorporate this information into one's being. And at the very start of the entire process is, I guess you could call it a gateway. The gateway, of course, is a sense of humility. And what that means, of course, is if one thinks that one knows everything that one needs to know, and that there's no benefit, no knowledge benefit to be gained from a particular situation, then there will be nothing gained from that situation. In just the same way that if you're full, you can't really eat anything. And so if a person's focus is upon the self, when events happen, the event is happening to me, it's happening to me, right? I'm the one that lost all of his ducks, right? It happened to me. First thing that happens whenever events happen to me is I have an emotional response to it. Why? Why do I have an emotional response to it? Because I'm not seeing things properly? Because I don't have a sense of humility. If I have a sense of humility, I understand. Things happen. And it's not all about me. So if I have a sense of humility whenever events occur, I don't immediately have to go to the emotional response to events happening. By bypassing the immediate emotional response, I have the opportunity to assess the situation for its true value with respect to my own position, involvement, and responsibility in whatever situation arises, or whatever information or experience that I'm having. Is that a little? What do you think? Could this be a little baby ash tree here? There we go. Does that look a little bit better? I think that's grass there. This is Syrian rue, guys, if I hadn't mentioned it before. Syrian rue is a popular plant for the swallowtail butterfly caterpillar. They like to eat it, but apparently they like to eat fennel even more. This is also used in herbal medicine to purge parasites, a vermifuge. I'm not an expert in herbal medicine, so I'm not going to try to give you a lecture on exactly what the procedure is and the dosages. I believe it's done in tea, but there's plenty of information available for people who would like to investigate what to do to convert this to medicine. But I had this growing here a few years ago, and because there are other purposes besides just medicine for this plant, I had decided I didn't want it, so I pulled it up. But apparently it had already gone to seed, and so here a few years later, this one popped up from the seeds. So I'm going to just make the presumption that perhaps nature knows better than I do, and this is a decent enough plant, not only for the swallowtail butterflies, which are pretty, but we just might actually need to purge some parasites one of these days, and wouldn't it be nice to already have the dewormer handy. Now you guys can examine this claim that I'm making for yourselves. I'm pretty sure you guys know yourselves fairly well. Look at it internally, know yourself, and ask this question whenever events occur, and my attitude is this event is happening to me. Am I thinking rationally and seeing truly, or am I having an emotional response? If I'm having an emotional response, pardon me, I gotta get this right there underneath your foot. If I'm having an emotional response, is that emotional response helping me in any way, shape, or form? Or is it preventing me from seeing things clearly? If it's preventing me from seeing things clearly, then emotional response is not what we want to be doing. Ooh, I got a pecan tree right down here. Look at that. Right down there, a little baby pecan tree. Oh, shoot. We'll go ahead and get weeded out around here. I love pecan trees. Oy. And I can do without some of these. This is an Asiatic dayflower. It's a water-loving weed, but it's a ground cover and it's not really hurting anything. It's keeping the area green and keeping the soil tied down, so I'm not worried about it. We're going to get rid of some of this tall grass. That's a habitat for these little boogers right here. That's a grasshopper. And since I don't have ducks to eat the grasshoppers, I got to really stay on top of these boogers. Yeah. Go on. Go feed a robin or something. Grasshopper. Just felt like it got scolded or something. Alright. So that's it. Whenever events are happening to you, when you're the focus, you immediately kick into heart thinking and emotional responses and emotional drive without having proper understanding. So, what we do is we try to remember that no matter what happens, we are first and foremost the observer of what is occurring, and only after observation and assessment of what is true of the situation should we begin allowing ourselves to have an emotional reaction. And I am just going to break these guys off instead of pulling them up. I don't want to pull them up, I just want to get them out of the water. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and take these weeds that we just picked up. We're going to throw them in a hole in the ground that we've already set aside for just that purpose. Hope you've been finding these videos informative or entertaining, and if you did, well, you know what to do. I'll catch you next time. Until then, get out there and get growing.